What's going on, y'all? What's poppin'? How's your day going, guys? How's your day going? Look, I'm just gonna be straight up with this. If you're a Manchester United fan and you are hoping that Amad Diallo gets to come back to Old Trafford as soon as possible, give it up, y'all. Let it go. Just get rid of that dream. Turn that dream into a nightmare, cause it's not gonna happen. Amad Diallo is balling for Ivory Coast, and I think he has what it takes to lead Ivory Coast all the way to the finals. Ivory Coast has a chance to go back to back. They have a chance to be back to back champions, and they are looking like it right now. Um, Ivory Coast and Mozambique just finished a couple minutes ago. Ivory Coast won, Mozambique nil. The scoreline doesn't reflect how dominant Ivory Coast was, in my opinion. You know, like it's kind of different where yesterday Nigeria beat Tanzania 2-1, but gameplay wise, performance wise, Nigeria was poor, in my opinion. Whereas I'm watching Ivory Coast versus Mozambique, and I'm seeing that scoreline you would think is a close game, but in my opinion, it was not. I think Ivory Coast dominated in every aspect of the game when it comes to chance creation, shots on target, ball possession, defensive abilities, the midfield, the wingers crossing the ball. They had about 10 corners, I think 9 corners. Mozambique had about 3 or 4. Like really, really like shout out to Ivory Coast. They really showed that they are the defending champions and they are hoping to go back to back. Now, I look at the lineup of Ivory Coast and I said to myself, I'm like, these are really, really solid players. Really solid players, Obviously, Amad Diallo, Wilfred Zaha. I know if you I haven't heard that name in such a long time, but Rufus Zaha is playing, and honestly, I think he did okay. The right winger is also very solid for Ivory Coast. Zangare, the goalkeeper for Fofana is also a very solid goalie for Ivory Coast, and this coach, Emma's Faye, has been really amazing. Like at the last AFCON tournament, Ivory Coast coach became a coach midway in the tournament and led them to the finals, beating Nigeria, right? At the AFCON finals. And right now he's a full-time coach and it's like he has put a system, a style of play that when you watch Ivory Coast, you really enjoy it, you know. Ivory Coast, they can't play like they're a ball possession type of team. I realize that they like to play out from the back and defensively, all the defenders, the fullbacks, Due, and the other fullback Conan, they're very, very good at overlapping, very, very good at, having that ball composure, having that composure with the ball and linking up with the midfield and linking up with the wingers. And I think it's such a very, very beautiful way of playing football. And Ivory Coast is using it while also dominating the game and keeping the clean sheets. Um, in the first half, I will give credit to Mozambique. I think Mozambique was very, very defensively. They were very disciplined, in my opinion. They did a lot of good job clearing the ball out of danger, stopping any dangerous, threatening passes that Zaha was getting inside the boxes. Um, the defenders, Ranido, Langa, Maxa, I think they did a great job. Making it making it hard for Ivory Coast to score a goal in the first half because Ivory Coast had two chances. They had two chances, and one of the chances was in the first half was a beautiful where Ahmed was 1v1 with a fullback, went past and played a low cross only for was it Zaha or someone else to shoot it just a little bit wide off the goalpost. And I'm like, that could have been a 1 goal lead right there. So there was two chances I believe that Ivory Coast had in the first half to put this game 2 goals up. You know, Mozambique offensively is like they had no game plan on what to do offensively. Like first half is like they just clear the ball out of danger. They try to move the ball up, only for Ivory Coast to get the ball back. And the only thing Mozambique knows is to just get back to defense and just play the low block, hold it down, at least get into halftime 0-0, and that's what happened. They're going to halftime 0-0, and I'm sure if you're an Ivorian, you are quite a bit disappointed because you believe that this game could have been 4 goals easily. I mean, as of right now, no team has scored more than 3 goals. I believe it's only been three, maybe three, 2 or 3 teams that have scored 3 goals in this African tournament so far. And Ivory Coast had a chance to score 4 goals in this game. You know, like games like this, you want to be able to score as many goals as you can, not just because of goal difference, but to finally, wake up, to finally get that feel that, okay, we're in the African tournament, right? Let's not wait for us to grow into other games. Let's grow into this, our first game of the tournament. That's what you want to do. Second half, about 4 minutes into the second half, Amad Diallo doing what he does best. Beautiful shot. He crossed the ball in, and I think Bayo, I think his name was, headed the ball back to Amad Diallo, and he crossed the ball and just shot the ball right there, and just 1-0 Ivory Coast. Beautiful shot by Amad Diallo. And I keep saying, man, he's been the best player of this team. He's the one that's been looking so dangerous for this team. Zaha, for me, did not play good. He wasted a lot of chances. He was very wasteful. Um, every time he got the ball, it was like he was so indecisive. I'm like, you're so slow. Like you're taking so many touches to figure out what you want to do. Like, what do you want to do, Zaha? Do you want to shoot the ball on your first touch, or you want to make the extra pass on your first touch? Because every time Zaha had the ball and he was taking so long to figure out what to do. That's when the Mozambique defenders close up on him. The center back close up on him and shut him down. And if you're Ivory Coast, you want to score as many goals as you can because now that Ivory Coast has 1 goal up, this forces Mozambique to come out to attack because now it's like, hey, we can't defend all game long. We have to equalize. We have to go on their attack. Now the good thing is for Ivory Coast, it opens them up and it still gave Ivory Coast a whole lot of chances. Thanks to Mozambique coming forward, Ivory Coast had a lot of chances to score. They just couldn't take take advantage of those chances that they had. They had some amazing chances, man. I keep telling you guys, Ivory Coast should have been 4 goals up in this game. Last 15 minutes, in my opinion, I think Mozambique had they started to look quite a bit alive. They were looking very dangerous, looking very threatening. They were trying to savage a point. And Mozambique, I believe they have not advanced out of the group stage in the history of the African tournament. So, this is teams that is trying to make history. Like Mozambique, no one has Mozambique trying to win the AFCON or even trying to make it to the semifinals, but at least these are teams that they want to break the historic bad records that a lot of that the predecessors could not break, in my opinion. So Mozambique in the last 15 minutes, they were looking good, looking very strong, had a couple chances, had a couple opportunities, but Fofana, Ivory Coast goalie, did a great job making two very clear saves that stopped Mozambique from equalizing. Um, Overall, I'm gonna say that this was a dominant display by Ivory Coast, in my opinion. In the first half, Mozambique defense was very solid. I give credit to them. I think going forward, they have no idea what to do. Like, are they trying to play out from the back? Are they trying to play long balls? Are you trying to rely on set pieces? Like there was no offensive strategy that Mozambique had. Whereas with Ivory Coast, we saw the offensive strategy that they had, and they were able to get the 3 points that are very much needed. Ivory Coast, I said that they are defending champions. We should not sleep on them. I know everyone's expecting Morocco, Senegal, and Nigeria, but Ivory Coast is looking very dangerous as well, in my opinion. And their brand of football is very, very fun to watch, in my opinion. So you guys tell me what you guys think about the game. Um, in about next hour or next couple minutes, Cameroon versus Gabon is about to play, and I think that's gonna be an amazing game, in my opinion. So I'll catch you guys later. Peace.